You don't need to use an oversized AI model for everything, just like you don't need to use an axe to slice a cake. Find out how smaller models can deliver the right results and help cut AI costs up to 90% at IBM.com. The AI built for business. IBM. Looking for an AI glow-up that passes the office vibe check? What? AI that only knows the internet doesn't make sense for business. Get AI trained on your data at IBM.com. The AI built for business. IBM.
Ah, Smart Water, now in a sleek can.
This feels cool, literally.
Perfect for social gatherings and on the go.
Should I start wearing turtlenecks?
One sip at a time, friend. Smart Water cans, for those with a taste for taste. Get yours today.
Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. My name is Henry Lawrence, and in this episode, we are going to shift into our high frequency brain. If you've been working hard, you've been hitting the wall, but for some reason you can't make it to the other side, this is the episode for you. Make sure to listen all the way through, because at the very end, we're going to take a deep, healing, meditative breath to help us align on this message and move forward throughout the day. So if you're watching this, you know I'm not in the studio. I'm not set up nice. I'm just sitting here on my bed. This is one of those sit-down messages as if we're hanging out. So don't expect it to be perfect. Don't expect it to be well-polished. Just expect it to be what you need if you are stuck. If you're working so hard, but you're pushing against a barrier that you can't move through. That you're doing the things, you're saving the money, or you're attempting to save the money. You're trying to have the positive thoughts. You're trying to do all these things, but for some reason, your life stays the same. I use certain sayings because when you hear them the first time, they might sound good. But there'll become a point where you truly understand it. And once you truly understand it, you can actually apply it to your life. And this saying right here is key for most people that can't seem to get to the next level. And that's your new life, your new experience will cost you your old one. When we want to go somewhere, our natural state is to fly. We will naturally glide. We will naturally soar. We're magnetic. The law of attraction's in play always, meaning as we are, we experience. And so this old life that you're in, it's not the things that you don't like that's stopping you from going to the next level. It's actually the things you do like that are holding you there. You see, if you have a group of friends that you're hanging out with, and even if it's a text group, you don't see them so often because you're working and stuff like that, your mind, your identity, your energy stays in alignment with them. And you might be thinking, but I don't talk to them that often, or they're not that influential with me. If you're interacting with them, you are putting your energy into something. And you might think, well, how could they stop me from achieving something or being something? Because they are not going that direction. So every time you connect to what they are, you are preventing yourself from moving forward. The same is true with money. You want to step in that next echelon of money. You want to become a multimillionaire. You want to have the chains. You want to have the watch. You want to, fly private. You want to do all those things. But you're not willing to leave the things that won't equal it. You cannot stay at your job if there's no path to get to where you want to go. You cannot stay at that job, no matter how great it is, no matter how many years you studied for it, and how great the benefits are, right? And so that's where people get attached. So when you create a vision for what you want, and we can use mine, like I want to be a million, not just a millionaire, but I want to earn millions in a year, right? Eventually a month. That's the goal. Big vision, expansion. That's what I want. And so what I have to do is I have to look at relationships. I have to look at opportunity, like financial opportunity, because I'm self-employed. So everything I do is through that. I have to look at time allotment. I have to look at all of those things and say, if this blossomed, will it go where I need it to go? Or is it something that's serving something for now? And so when you look at something and it's good for now, like maybe I have a business opportunity that is good for now, it's providing income for now, but will never lead to there, I cannot hang on to it until the better opportunity comes. Because by hanging on to it, I'm saying that my energy is of that level. And so if I let that go, if I move away from that opportunity and release it, it may be difficult now because it was good for something now, but it's setting the intention of alignment of where I'm going. And so by removing these things and then doubling and tripling down on the things that I do see will get me there, It leaves space for the law of attraction to do its thing. Now, I'm using money because it makes it such a simple example to see that. But once you start leaving the space, and by releasing the thing that doesn't align with me, I'm realigning with where I'm looking to go. Remember, we want to be identity shifters. I can't carry the old identity. The old identity got me here. I'm building the new identity that's going to get me to the next level. And so when I start putting my mind into that future self, current self has less existence. So there's less for it to relate to in the current reality that it created. And so the new reality will start forming around me. And this is extremely difficult. This is why most people don't go to the next level. I've had this life experience as Henry for 37 years. Yes, I do think I'm better now than ever in everything, but not to the degree that I shouldn't be achieving more earlier. What was stopping me before was always the mindset in these things, was always hanging on to things that I liked and not making room for things that I can love. Hanging on to things where I didn't want to upset, didn't want to hurt, didn't want to rock the boat. But those things could never be in the reality in which I'm trying to go. And so that's the process that I'm working on. You are not only seeing this in lesson, as I talk about it on these podcasts, but you're also seeing it in example. If you've been listening to me for a while, like more than 3 months, you would be able to see that the past month or two, I've really changed in how I show up here. I've changed how I show up here because I needed to go into the next energetic field. I needed to move forward. And so when you do something like that, it's not going to be perfect. I turned some people away because I started saying shit. I started cussing. I started trying to talk about new topics. I started getting into money. I started talking about success and achievement and all those things and discipline. And I didn't do it perfectly because the version of me that I'm looking to become, that next level, I haven't been yet. And so it's expression of that high frequency, and that's releasing. And I've been so afraid to do that before because I didn't want to lose a listener. I didn't want to lose somebody that was supporting the show. I didn't want to misguide them. But you can't operate that way. Your responsibility is to yourself first. You must elevate yourself first. And once you learn to do that, once you learn how to get yourself on that next level, you become the example of it to where you only tolerate people that act in alignment with your example. And so they are given the gift to step up and rise with you. It's difficult because you do lose friends. Because when you tighten up on something, when you become more disciplined in something, when you become more aligned in something, there is less room for their bullshit. There is less room for their drama. There is less room for their lower energy activities. And so when they see that and you're doing that, there's going to be massive resistance, but it's not a bad thing. They're not evil for doing it. They go through the same reality as us, and so they have to overcome the same thing as us, and we are learning to overcome it, so them just being in that stage is not bad. In fact, it's always a gift for us, because with any resistance, which is lack of what you're trying to become, if there's any resistance, and it's difficult to be that friction, and the more you stick to it, the more you become it. So even the things that you lose, the things that get angry at you, the things that are upset about the change that you make, even those are blessing you with opportunity to commit to what it is that you're trying to become. And so in saying this in conversation and saying this in this podcast form, it sounds so simple. It sounds like something I've mastered and that my life is perfect and that I figured out every single corner. No. I'm working on being the water that I talk about us being, meaning when I go to the next level, anybody that wants to be around me is going to hear how I got there. They're going to see how I got there. And so I don't need to get 100 steps ahead and then say, okay, well, then I'm going to start sharing where I came from. I'm sharing every step of the way. And so some people, when they come to my message, when some people experience me, they will experience me 10 steps ago. Right? That's where they'll need to go. They'll go back and listen to old content. They'll go to my old educational stuff that I did, and then they'll work their way up. But I'm not going to have a pause in this growth, and neither should you. Your identity has to truly become what is next for you. And that's going to come with resistance and embarrassment and failure. But if you want that next level mindset, if you want that next level life, if you want that FU mindset, right? We want FU money. We need to have FU energy, FU mindset, meaning I don't care what you do, I'm going to be me. If you want that, you have to be willing to lose what you may not be willing to admit that you actually still love, that you actually still want to hold on to because you're afraid of the consequence. Once you have it in your face, once you know it, it doesn't get solved, then you have to actually do it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath to help us step into the doing of something, the moving of something, the progression of something. So when you breathe in, we're going to do our I am statement. I am love, I am joy, I am peace, I am happiness, I am whatever you want. We're going to say that. And as you breathe in, just say I am in the thing. And as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, allow anything that doesn't resonate with you to leave you. Are you ready? Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. You know, one that's been sticking with me a lot is the words, I am him. Him has a definition for me. So that definition for me is the version of myself that I'm looking to become. The physical shape, the mental shape, the energetic shape, the power, the financial shape. That version of me that's a multimillionaire and receives millions easily, is so confident, steps on stages and does amazing speeches and changes people for the better. That version that can look someone in the eyes and tell them who they are because they've shown them who they are and then believe it, right? That version, that him, that's who I see for myself. So when I breathe in, that's what I did. And I hope that you do something of the same. Breathe in like that with the energy, feel yourself rise and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. You can also follow me on social media. There's my Instagram and TikTok down below as well. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Oh, wait. Before I end it, leave a comment. Share this video. They mean so much to myself, and then other people read them, especially if you're on Spotify, because commenting is new. When you leave those comments, people see that, and it gives them, a feeling about the show. And so I appreciate everyone that does that as well. Have a great day.